I'm Roy Potter, a former U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel. Welcome to the Potter Expositor.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is Roy Potter again of the Potter Expositor. Thought I'd do something a little different. You know, every once in a while I do these outdoor videos, and actually I'm going to be doing more of this type of thing because I think I've said everything politically and spiritually that I wanted to, and I've talked about that before. And there's some other reasons for wanting to go to these other things. But as you can see from the title of this, you know, what do you carry for defense? And in what situation? And I know there are many videos on YouTube about this, websites and things like that, and there are a lot of experts out there, and I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. I just thought you'd like to see what I use. Now there are two situations that I figure we have to worry about. One is home defense, and the other is outside like this. When I go camping like I am now, and I've come down this range down from the mountain, you can hear the shooting in the background. They're two basically different situations. In a house, you don't want over-penetration. You want rounds that will basically hit the target and not go any further. So in shotguns, you're thinking mostly about, you know, whatever gauge you use. Basically 7-shot bird shot. Slugs aren't good in home defense situations except under very stringent circumstances, and most of the time just don't even go there because it's just way too much penetration. Handguns, same thing. You can use any caliber, but you want to use a hollow point that if it hits its target, it's not going to go any further, or if it misses or whatever, it's going to hit a wall and it's going to stop relatively soon, not penetrate several walls and hit somebody, or go out of the house and hit somebody on the sidewalk or the next door neighbors. And the same with a rifle. Okay, if you use a rifle for home defense. That gets kind of tricky in a rifle situation to control velocity because there aren't many out there that won't have some good penetration, but I think you get the idea. Again, the point of home defense is normally 99% of the time the predator that's after you is going to be a human being, right? Very rarely will you run into a wild animal. It's happened, but normally you look at these things from the most likely type of predator that's going to come for you. Outdoors, the situation is entirely different. You're talking about animals, even human predators, okay, that are in a situation that's going to be a little tough, okay? So you want to choose a round that's going to be good for human predators. Coyotes even have been known to attack people. Certainly wolves, there aren't many of them, but they're coming back. They have been around, they have been spotted. You have to worry about cougars, mountain lions, that have been well known to take people. And bears as well. Now, I don't want to make it sound like these are evil creatures. They're just trying to survive. But if they get hungry enough, or if they get scared, like a mother, you know, bear worrying about her cubs, or just a nasty old male grizzly that wants to fight you because, you know, he's in that mood, then, you know, you got to have something that's going to work. In shotguns, double-aught buckshot and slugs, okay? Double-aught buckshot, probably 2 rounds, one after the other. First round being a warning shot because the animals will usually run if they hear that. If that doesn't work, and sometimes it won't, first shot, double-aught buckshot, second a slug. In handguns, you pretty much got to load them up. Now, snakes are a problem too. And you can buy snake rounds that have BBs in them. It just depends on the time of year and what you're doing. And you've got to take that into consideration. But usually in my 44 or my 45 auto, my first 2 rounds will be snake rounds in the summertime when I know snakes are out. And then after that will be 230 grain hardball or something similar, okay? Same in the 44 Magnum. First 2 rounds will be snake rounds. Then after that, 240 grain soft nose jacketed or hollow point jacketed. These will take on just about any animal that you meet anywhere in the continental United States. Little difficult, you know, you got to know what you're doing, but I'm just giving you what I do. And like I say, you can go watch all the different penetration tests on YouTube and the web and all that, and have all the arguments about what's best. But I know people in Alaska that carry 45 autos, 40 millimeters, 10 MMs, you know, handguns, and they seem to think that's enough. Well, it's always a personal choice. What do I carry? Well, I've already told you it's either a 45 semi-automatic pistol, 1911, or it's a Model 29 Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum. Loaded pretty hot for outdoors predators, okay? But in camp, always ready, or on little walks when I can carry it, if you know, circumstances dictate that I do that, I do carry a rifle. I have it handy all the time. And I'm going to show you what it is, okay? Here it is right here with the action open. Okay, this is a Marlin 1895 guide gun, stainless steel in 45-70. It's an old caliber from back in the 1800s, but loaded to modern ballistics, it's one of the best killers around. It shoots that 45 caliber round. Now, I've got the action open, and I'm going to stick my finger down on the bore to make sure that it really is empty. Nothing in the magazine. The action's open. Let me show you the bore on this. Look at that. That's a 45 caliber bore, the barrel. Okay, you can just about crawl in there and hide. I load this particular gun up normally with, when I'm out camping, with a 405 grain jacketed soft point, loaded at about 2,000 feet per second. That's giving me about 3,500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. We're approaching elephant rifle characteristics there, like a 458 Winchester Magnum, which is the same size bullet as this, just a different casing with different powder capacity. But we're approaching that 458 Magnum Winchester ballistics. 3,500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy is a lot of, you can kill anything in the world with that. At other times, I might be carrying a 300 grain jacketed hollow point, and that's moving anywhere between 1,800 and 2,000 feet per second, still giving me right around 3,000 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. I don't plan on shooting anything in self-defense that's further than 50 yards away, okay? So this gun isn't made for beyond 200 yards. I mean, people can do that, but I'm not one of them, okay? First of all, as I said, I'm not really a hunter anymore. I have hunted in the past, but just don't, you know, there's plenty to eat now. I'm not worried about it. I'm not against hunting, don't misunderstand me, but I don't need to reach out, you know, 300 to 600 yards to kill something. I'm concerned about self-protection in the camp or out on the trail. This is going to take down with real force anything within 200 yards, and my closing area where I start to think about pulling the trigger is at 100. If the thing is charging me like a bear, at 100 yards, I'm probably going to at least fire off a warning shot, quickly load a second round. If it hasn't stopped with that first warning shot, you know, one's going to go right into the furnace, okay? And certainly at 50 yards, all bets are off, okay, and closer. Okay, well, I think I've told you, you know, what we're doing. I bet you'd like to see it fired once. So the first thing to remember is you put in your ear protection, and that's what I'm going to do now. This is a very loud firearm. It's 45 caliber, so when it goes off, it's with authority. The recoil, what I'm going to be shooting today, is a 300 grain jacketed hollow point, and I'll show it to you in just a minute. So we have our ear protection in. Make sure it's good and sealed up. Show you the round. There's the round there. I hope you can see that. Okay, this is a 300 grain jacketed soft point Federal loading at about 1,800 feet per second. Now those velocities are in 24-inch test barrels. This is an 18.5-inch barrel, so you lose about 50 feet per second for every inch of barrel length you lose after 24. So at 18.5, I'm down 5.5 inches, right? So I've lost somewhere between 250 and 300 feet per second right off the bat. But this thing is moving fast enough at close range, and it's so big that it hardly matters. And with this, it's never in my way. I can go through brush, I can put it in the cabinet. It's easy to store, okay? Easy to carry. It's really pretty lightweight. It's only about 7 pounds. Okay, so let's go ahead and load up a round for you. I'm going to shoot offhand. I'm not going to turn off the mic, so hopefully it's not too loud for you when it goes off. These particular rifles, they have a loading port right here. Okay, I think you can see that right there. And we're going to just put that round right in there. You could just go ahead and open the action and drop it in the chamber, but I thought you'd like to see the whole thing work. So let's fire around. What do you say? Eye protection next. Out in the field, you might not have that, but whenever you're practicing, you know, go with the odds. Always have ear protection and eye protection when you're practicing or out on the range or just shooting for fun. Okay? All right, well, here we go. I'm going to back up a little bit more so you can kind of see a little bit more. All right? How's that? All right, so we're going to cycle the action. The round's chambered. Now on Marlins, you have a block safety here for the hammer. I never use that, but it's a good thing to have. The problem with safeties on these particular types of guns is that small movements like that aren't large muscle masses, you got to practice it a lot, because in this particular weapon you have two mechanical motions you'd have to do with the safety on before you're ready to shoot. You know, one is that you're going to have to push that safety down. The other is you might have to cock the hammer. I've already got it cocked back, but you get the idea. Okay, so that's a personal choice. Whichever way you go, you have to practice it. Okay, this is a hot round, 300 grain jacketed soft point bullet, loaded to about 1,800 to 1,900 feet per second in a 24-inch barrel, and we're backing off of that, but the recoil is still going to be pretty good in the muzzle blast. So here we go. I thought you'd like to see this. Offhand, here we go. There we are. We'll go ahead and take out the empty cartridge. There it is. Okay. Well, I thought you'd enjoy that. Think it through, what you might, where you go, what the type of predators are you might have to deal with. But this is a super choice right here. At least it has been for me. And it goes with me everywhere when I'm outside. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.